Music matters. Integra Pink. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hello. Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Hell yeah!
Doing
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah. How we doing? How we doing today? How was your holiday? How's everything in your guys' world?
The holidays were good. Our world, just chilling.
Chilling with the fam.
Yeah, with the family.
Nice.
Peeking it up.
Hell yeah. You guys do? So you don't all live in the same place, right? You said you guys are in the IE and you're in Victorville.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Nice. Okay. So you're both like outside of LA.
Yeah, I'm way outside of LA.
Yeah. Victorville, I wasn't like familiar with. You said it's like San Bernardino, or kind of like.
It's in the county technically, yeah, but then you like drive up this mountain, and then it's like on the way to Vegas. It's a passing town.
Gotcha.
So the way I tell people is, if you're driving to Vegas and you see that In-N-Out, that's the city I live in, where there's like a whole lot of nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
How far is that from here?
From here, it was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It's average commute.
How did you guys all meet? Because I know you said like you've been very close for a long time. Like, how do you all meet if you were living in different places and kind of grew up in different places?
He's my brother. Yeah. I've known him for a minute.
You guys are brothers?
Yeah.
Known him for a sec.
Yeah. We've been cool for a little bit.
How long y'all been brothers for?
Too long, I think.
Yeah,
a couple of years and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, but the way I met them is actually, I used to play in a different band, and we played a show together. Like, my homie put the show together, the one I play in a band in, and he hit them up to headline, and that's when we met. And then he was cool with them for a minute, and then one day he was just like, "Hey, we're on Warzone if you're trying to hop on." And I was like,
Nice.
"Yeah, sure." So then since then, we just been like slowly starting to kick it more and more.
The classic Warzone connection.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. That's beautiful.
Warzone rocks.
Yeah.
I love
It's all right.
No, Warzone's awesome.
How long ago was that when you first like became acquainted with them and kind of met?
That was around April last year, right?
Gotcha.
Like 23.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you guys have been doing it for how long now?
The band?
Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
I think we're coming up to like 2 years for Integra Pink.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years. 2.5.
Yeah,
I think.
because this is the end of year 2 right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. You guys, it was during COVID when you started, right?
Yeah. So before we went public with Integra Pink, we were like working on songs, so that way when the band started, we already had like a set list that we can go out and play.
Yeah.
So for us, it feels like Integra Pink was out longer, but yeah, I guess publicly, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wanted to ask about that because you guys released like a full record last year, which was like a really cool thing to do pretty early into the trajectory of a band. I always think it's really sick when somebody puts their intention out, like, I'm going to put a full release rather than just play the boring music industry singles game forever. Instead, I'm going to throw a body of work out and let it stand for itself. Was Mall Grab kind of a thing that originated prior to you ever putting out music before? Like, were those songs that old? Or how did kind of the rollout with that contribute to you guys kind of starting?
Holy shit, dude, you're like really articulate. Like the way you explained that, I was like, damn, man.
Thanks, man.
my bad.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think starting off, like, we knew that those were the songs that we wanted on it. And, like, even early on, I knew that was the name I wanted, like, Mall Grab. And then I think as we started putting out singles, we knew that it was, like, what's it called? It was going to eventually accumulate to, like, a mixtape. So I think we had a good idea that's what we wanted, like, pretty early on. But the songs themselves, there was like maybe 4 songs that we started off with, and then as we went along, we started adding more and more until we finally got enough to like call it a mixtape or an album, and then we released it. So I think like we already had like half of it.
I was really interested in that too. You it's very like throughout the whole rollout and everything, it was always called like a mixtape opposed to an album, and like I assume that was intentional.
Yeah.
But I was like very curious as to like why that was, because it's interesting. I mean, I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but we'll get into it obviously. But like there's so many different influences on the project, and like some of them even feel like they exist more in the world of like hip hop scratching based stuff, and there's like a lot of like Latin influence on it, and like there's more like modern indie rock sounds and more like garage. There's all kinds of different sounds, and I was interested as like does the mixtape kind of labeling contribute to like the genre at all? Like, did you do that because you're like, oh, like mixtapes exist in these genres traditionally, or why go with the pointed title of a mixtape instead of like a project or an album or whatever?
Yeah, Dan, that's a good question. I appreciate that question because I think, it was, I think it was very conscious to call it a mixtape because I was like, back when we first brought Integra Pink out, like I told the guys, like, I want to be like the first mixtape band where like every song sounds different, and that's why we called it a mixtape because
interesting.
We all listen to different things, and we're all putting in our different influences, and it just felt like let's make every song sound different. Let's make it sound like there was like a skater, because like back then when you would make a mixtape, you wouldn't just put like, okay, let me just make it just all one band. Like you would put like a bunch of different sounds, so that way when you're out there, like you have a variety of something to choose from. So when we made Mall Grab, we were like, no, let's make it. There's something for everybody on there, and so when you're listening to it, it's like a one-stop shop where there's hip hop, there's indie, but there's also that Latin influence. There's also punk. So it was conscious to call it a mixtape.
Plus for like at least in the way I was thinking of it, I know like certain bands have a certain sound, and if other bands wanted, or if people wanted to get their alternative fix in, they can listen to this band, or if they wanted to get their shoegaze fix in, they can listen to this band. And we kind of wanted to just we wanted to cover like all bases, just kind of like play everything, so that way in a way like we're kind of like a one-stop shop type of band, but also stay true to ourselves, not try to like let's go for that sound or let's go for that sound. Like we have so many ideas or so many songs where like we want to remain ourselves, but also try and like get our fingers in certain like different pots, so that we can like at least branch to like other to like outside genres. I go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, kind of to add on what he said, that like everything that we do is something that like we're not doing it like just to do it. Like it's not it's like it's genuine, like
intention.
Yeah, we've always said that like we make music that we would listen to, and because we listen to so many different things, I've never understood when like a band only sounds like one thing, like when a band only makes one genre, because like I couldn't imagine doing that. And that's what, like, I don't know, because I listen to one thing, Bart listens to one thing, Roman listens to one thing, Nick listens to, we all listen to different things. It's like it just makes sense. Like let's make a bunch of different sounds.
I guess I'm kind of ignorant to even like what the origin of a mixtape is, like historically, because like a mixtape was just like a compilation of a CD that somebody would make for themselves, right? To listen to, like it was like a playlist, right?
That's my understanding of it. Yeah, like because when I was younger, like this was like the LimeWire days. Like I would just pirate a bunch of songs illegally, and then I would put them on a CD because I didn't want to ask my mom to buy like 10 different CDs. I was just like, I like this song, so I would just burn them onto a disc, and then so for me, like that was like a mixtape for me, just like stealing songs.
Plus it was pretty intentional, but I'm sure like a lot of people picked up on this, that we were like really influencing our aesthetic, or we were influenced by the way our aesthetic was from Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Really, like specifically that game?
Literally,
and the way Leo pitched it to us was like, dude, just imagine this mixtape as the soundtrack to like a game, like to like one of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. And that's kind of how I imagined the mixtape, where you're playing the game and the songs on this mixtape, they're not the same thing, they're eclectic, where like everything's like it's just a whole vibe that matches with the game. So
have you played the game?
I played the original Tony Hawk Skate, like the first one, I think. On my PS2.
Dude, I played the first one on the PS1 and the third one on the PS1, but like like that soundtrack, there's not one genre. There's punk, there's metal, there's hip hop, and then I totally forgot about that too, because like in the mixtape starts off with a skater going to the mall and buying it, and it's up for interpretation, I guess. But like, it could be a record store, but also it could also be a game store where they're buying the game, you know. So yeah, we were extremely influenced by Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
That's so cool, dude. So much of like the above the bridge aesthetic and like brand is just based in old video games. Like so much of like the digitalism and the soundtracks of everything that we do. Like if you watch his interview, so many of the sounds that come up in it will just be like retro video game sounds.
What's your favorite video game
ever?
Yeah,
that's such a hard question. I think like, I think if I had to pick the game that made the biggest impact on me, like my entire life, it's probably Pokemon Pearl. I probably put that more than anything. I like when I was a kid, Sonic Colors was a huge thing for me. I played Kirby and the Epic Yarn a lot. Yeah, I learned how to video edit from making like Minecraft videos and then like CS:GO edits after that. Nice. So like there was a whole pipeline. Like I was a huge Pokemon kid, like gigantic, like obsessed. And then
dude, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, and then I think after that, like Minecraft was definitely my gateway drug into like internetism at all. Like, and I had so many friends that I just met on the internet playing Minecraft and CS:GO and like Rocket League and like things like that when I was like in middle school. So I think games like that specifically, but I think the games like that got me more into like the idea, I think, of like what an old video game sounded like and looked like and the aesthetic of it. Even though I wasn't really playing those games, like the games that I just mentioned, they don't have those kinds of like sounds in them at all. But like it made me interested in like what preceded it, and that kind of became far more interesting to me than the games themselves.
That's sick.
That's sick.
Yeah, I would never think it's really cool to me because I think like the idea of a mixtape is kind of like contrarian to what like maybe somebody would want you to do in like the more traditional side of the music industry, like to have a project that's like fully aligned and cohesive from like song to song to song. I think it's so much cooler that you guys are like embracing different sounds and still trying to find a way to weave cohesion in between the songs. I think that's a lot cooler than like just, I don't know, saying like we're good at this one thing so we're gonna sit there and do it. Also just like releasing a full length that quick into like you guys' kind of origin as a band. But was there ever any sort of worry about putting all these different songs in the project and how it might influence the listener, or like were you guys always just like, we like this, fuck it, we're doing it?
It was pretty much that.
Sick.
Yeah, like we're very conscious of like what our listeners are gonna like, and I don't think we'll ever do anything to intentionally like turn them off,
alienate them.
But we pretty much knew what we wanted from the beginning. And I think I've always been influenced by artists who are able to do different things, like The Clash or Ween. Like, you know, those bands, like they can make songs in any genre, and they excel in it. So, you know, I think we just kind of take influence in that, and just, you know, like, no, we're sure that this is what we want to do, and you know, never really second guess ourselves, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing. I think like it's interesting, but being an artist, I think, are one of the only times, like one of the only career paths, I think, where like sometimes thinking in a vacuum of your own thoughts and like trying to like throw influence out the window can kind of be like productive, I think, because if it's coming originally from you, it's just like your isolated thoughts, it's going to sound the most like you that it possibly can.
And then when it sounds the most like you, it doesn't sound like anybody else, because no matter what you're, I mean, it's going to sound corny, but you're the only there's only you. Like there's only one person like you. There's only one person that's lived your life, that's taken in the media that you've taken in, and whether you know it or not, subconsciously, everything that you've taken in, it's gonna come out in what you do. Like if a person only listens to the Strokes their whole entire life, when they make music, they're only gonna sound like that.
Strokes,
but like, you know, if you only one person has listened to what I've listened to. Only one person has listened to what you listen to, and so the more you listen to yourself, the more unique you're gonna sound, I guess. So I think it's super important, and I always try to keep like our creative circle small. Like people will give us advice, and I appreciate it, and I always listen to criticism. But like when it comes to what we do, I only listen to like us four. Like because I really want to make sure that what we're doing is like it's us. You know.
Yeah, I think that's good, and I think a lot of people might perceive that as like, I don't know, negative in some way, shape, or form. That like you're not really taking a ton of outside influence, but I think it's just different. Like being an artist is so different than almost any other career path. Where it's like you need to find a way to tote the line between like original thoughts and influence as well. It's like a really difficult thing to tote, I think. But when you guys are like writing and stuff, I mean, a project like Mall Grab, like you said, there's so many different sounds on it, so many different influences and stuff. Are you considering a lot like the overall product from like song to song, the transitions in between it, or were you kind of just embracing that mixtape nature of like, we're gonna make a bunch of songs, throw them all in the same project, or were you really concerned with like the way they fit together, the sequencing of everything, and kind of like even the distribution of the different genres and sounds that were within it?
Yeah, it was a lot of thought, like, because the songs kind of came like by themselves, like, you know, but then when we started putting them together, like, oh, this transitions well to that, this transitions well to that, because I only wrote half of it, he wrote the other half. So, and we're not in the writing room together. I'm writing my songs and he's writing his, and so when it's time to bring them together, that's when we kind of figure, okay, well, maybe this, you know, but that's, I don't know.
Well, yeah, the songs excuse me, the songs came first, but it's really like Leo that had the songs done. Like, he had a lot of the songs done before the idea of the mixtape came. And then when Integra Pink started, I wrote a couple of the songs that are on there, and then that's when that's when he was like, yo, let's throw it into a mixtape and just you know, put it out, because it really started off as how you were saying it, like singles, like single after single after single, and then after we were like, okay, it's got to end somewhere, it's got to have a big release at some point, and so that's where the idea of the mixtape came. And so then we were like, okay, let's put these songs together, but then there's a song that we had that didn't make it into the mixtape, so it wasn't really more so that the songs made the mixtape, we just kind of threw it all together, and then Leo did like some mixing magic to where it kind of interweaved, and it all made sense in the end. That's
interesting that you guys aren't in the room together when you're writing like the original parts of the song. Is that like intentional? Has it always been like that, or was that kind of something that you just like stumbled into with the project?
I think, well, for me, we both write differently. Like, for me, I don't bring like you guys a song, or I don't bring them a song until it's like 99% done. And I think I've noticed that in other aspects of my life, like, because I also draw. I don't show anybody the drawing until it's done.
Interesting.
I don't show anybody anything, because like I like having it done before I show people.
We had someone say that on the podcast very recently.
Really?
Yeah. He was a rapper named Dante, and he was talking about like, he just says like hatred of like snippet culture, like just like every time you make like half a verse, you have to throw it on fucking social media and hope that it gets some kind of traction.
And that's another thing too, that like I see bands do it, and like I'm not hating on but like for me at least, like I don't like showing snippets of demos, or I don't
Holy
like
garbage truck, oh my god. Damn. Jesus.
Taylor Swift.
It's about to run into the garage, dude.
That's my ride.
That's actually my mom. She had to pick me up.
Alright, see you guys later.
No, but like, I don't like showing snippets of songs. I don't like posting them. I like, same with like when we release songs, like I don't like oh, song out next month, like I want like, oh, song's out tomorrow, but but like back to the writing. Sorry, I write by myself, and then when I show them, they like, oh, maybe you could change this or change this, and the song starts to, you know, become what it is. But for you,
dude, I'm like the complete opposite. Like how you were saying, like never second guess yourself or something like that. I'd always second guess myself. I like not because, well, actually I don't know, maybe, but I just am never too sure. So I always like look to the guys, and whenever I bring up a song, it's usually like 40% done. But with anything, honestly, with anything I do, like with the band, I tend to second guess myself, because you never know what's gonna really hit.
It's natural.
And so that's why I really appreciate Leo, because he's very like, no, I know this is gonna work, or I know, like, you know, we shouldn't do this right now. So it's kind of like yin and yang, at least with Leo.
That's awesome. I mean, sometimes I think that can be even harder, like knowing what not to do. I think that can be harder than knowing what to do sometimes, because sometimes I think creatively people are just inclined to throw their natural instinct at the wall as long as they can and just wait till it sticks. And I think I did that for a long time creatively, and then I think it like eliminates calculation in a way that I think can sometimes just become a stream of consciousness, which there's a beauty to as well. But I think sometimes the artists and the bands and the musicians that I think that are the most interesting are the ones that are incredibly calculated, and people that are like there is that push and pull of like, should we do this, should we not do this, and sometimes it's the restraint that ends up on top, you know.
Yeah,
like kind of like when artists go like gun ho and they're just always like boom boom boom, here's this, here's that, here's that. Like I see it, like don't get me wrong, like for the diehard fans it works. Like when you're already like up there, it's like they want it, they always want to eat. But as like an up and comer, I guess, like I feel like for me at least, like the way I see it is if I do that, I feel like people get annoyed of it. And it's like, oh dang, this guy again. It was like
There's definitely a fear of oversaturating.
There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
Well, it's interesting too though, because like I think in the social media age we've kind of been taught the opposite. Like we've kind of been taught like, oh, like
throw it up there,
throw a ton of shit at the wall every single day. Like you need to be posting 9 TikToks every single day. But I think honestly, like in the last year to a year and a half, I feel like the opposite has become the truth. I feel like people have like become so conscious of just how oversaturated the market is, and now the opposite is kind of coming true. It's kind of like we overcorrected by like just starting to throw everything at the wall, and then we kind of overcorrected back because people are so sick of the oversaturation and have such a high filter for bullshit now that you kind of have to be more calculated about what you're releasing and what you're not than ever.
And like giving people time to like crave you as well. Like dang, like I want more, but they're not giving it to me yet. Like giving them time to like miss you, you know.
That's huge. I think I had a friend tell me this one time, and it really stuck with me. He said one of the hardest parts about being a musician is that you simultaneously have to be the most relatable and the most untouchable person at the same time. And I'm like, that's a weird concept.
I was thinking about that too. Like, well, before I forget, like, what were you saying? That like, like knowing now what to put out. Like, there are songs that we're barely gonna put out that have been written before anything that's on Mallgrab. But like, we just knew like, no, this should be on Mallgrab, and we should wait on this. But to what you just said right now, like I think, you know, being in a band that's up and coming, like you kind of like walking like a what's it called, like the rope or whatever,
tightrope.
It's like there's not a lot of room for error, because I feel like people can like just stop supporting you pretty quickly when they're like, well, you know, I thought when you're a bigger band, like if tomorrow the Strokes were to release an album that I don't care for, I'm still gonna be I still love the Strokes. Like they're still gonna be, you know,
you 6 others.
I know, but like if a band that I'm following, like that's like maybe up and coming, release like a really bad song, I'm like, damn, that you know. But I feel like
the attention's so fickle.
And I feel like we really have to make sure that what we're putting out and what we're doing, the shows that we're taking, everything that we're doing is like, okay, is that the right move? So I feel like that's what keeps me up at night. Like, are we doing the right thing? Or are we making sure that we're not doing the right thing? Or, you know?
The standard's almost higher, because it's like you haven't even earned people's attention yet.
You have to grab it.
Like losing it is so easy. You don't even have it yet.
I guess that's why like it's so scary, or like the reason why I second guess myself about what we should release is because we have so many different sounds that we've, you know, done with the songs. So if we were to like release a song that people don't like fuck with, they'll be like, oh, they're going down this route, when in really it's just for one song. Like the next song is gonna be more dark wavy. The next song is gonna be more hyper popish. When we were just trying it out for one song, and so I think that's why I always second guess myself, because I'm like, one song can really, you know, change your trajectory. Which is pretty crazy, but. Especially with the route that we're taking with Integra, like we don't have a specific sound that we're sticking to.
That's kind of the double-edged sword of it, I think. But I do think there's something really beautiful and arguably more artistic about like taking the route you guys are taking, where it's like, of course, but just like taking the route where it's like anything that we like, we're gonna try to make it, like regardless of whether or not we think it's gonna be like the specifically most like whatever the most productive move for a fan base building our perspective. It's like, if we like it and we think it's good, we're gonna do it. And it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know, because I do think, and I totally know this is true, there's bands that just like stick to the same thing and the same formula, and it works. And I mean, you know, more power to them. Like it works.
It's a lot safer.
But I think sometimes it can be limiting.
That's the word.
Because like sometimes, like, my bad, no. But I'll hear like an unreleased song that got released by like an artist I like, and I'm like, damn, why didn't they like own this? This is such a banger ass song. But I don't know if it's because they didn't think it would work, or they're just like, it doesn't match up with the body of work they already have.
Yeah.
And like that's something like I appreciated about Integra Pink, like joining the band, because like I said, I only recently joined in August. So a lot of the major moves they made were made before I joined. So like sometimes I feel like I'm not really in it yet, but like seeing what, like I could still sit back and admire what they've done already. Like oh, like they're not afraid to, I fuck with that.
That's
they're not afraid to do.
Damn.
Do what they want.
That's so cool. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I love that. That was beautiful.
But you're gonna hear him in our new song though.
Hell yeah.
He's in San Francisco too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, San Francisco was the first song like I had a hand in, but all the other songs they were already completed before I joined.
Gotcha. Okay. San Francisco was a really interesting one for me, being from the Bay Area. And I read the interview you guys did with Reckless, and you were talking about something that I'd never heard anybody who's not from the Bay Area talk about with San Francisco, which I found fascinating, because you were saying a lot of the inspiration behind the song was this idea of like being from somewhere and like recognizing the place is imperfect and like how people will dog on the city because they do, but not ever trying to appreciate the beauty in it or the beautiful parts of it. And it's like that kind of difficult part about loving something that's broken. I thought that was a really cool metaphor, and I think like yeah, of course, but I think like it was cool to hear from somebody who wasn't from the Bay. Because people from the Bay talk about that all the time, that exact same thing, where it's like San Francisco is like the media's punching bag, and it's all from people who've been there twice, and then they just watch the news all day.
That's it, yeah.
I wrote that in like 2 minutes, so I'm just
No, I appreciate that, man. I love San Francisco, and we've been there when we were younger. Probably only been there like maybe 6 or 7 times, but I love it, and I think. People can dog on it, and I think, there's something like, I don't even know if I want to get into it, but like there's like something slightly political about it. Like I think especially now, like if you were to say something good, like I think San Francisco is like a litmus test for people, like or litmus test.
Say that 5 times fast.
Like that's what I had on December 25th. Yeah, litmus.
No, but like depending on people, how people view like the city, like I can kind of gauge how they are as a person. Like
that's so true. Yeah.
But I love the city, and like I recognized, but it's like with every city, like Fontana, LA. It's like like
it's getting bad in every city for sure. Yeah. But like how he was saying, like I always grew up admiring San Francisco because I used to skate like a lot. Huge. So I always see like in videos, I'm like, fuck, dude, I want to go to San Francisco so bad. It looks so dope. Yeah. And then so I never like understood why people would like dog on it. If anything, like I understand more about LA because from there. Yeah. But nah, dude, I love San Francisco. The weather's nice, food's good. Yeah. It's a walkable city. Yeah,
it's just like a punching bag.
And it's like and it's.
It sucks.
When people and I could tell when people use it as a punching bag, I can tell where they're coming from, and I feel like I stay away from those people, I guess.
Well, the hard part is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like it's easy to point out the flaws, and it's it's there not every place is perfect, but like to admire the parts that make it so great, the history, the art, everything that makes it what it is. I think it's I love San Francisco.
What's difficult about it is like it's I think there's a couple things hard about it, but I think one of the things is that like it's a city with such a rich and deep and beautiful and fruitful history, and like that history is entirely undeniable. Yeah. But the hard part is like the criticisms, to a certain degree, there's validity in them for sure. Like there are parts of San Francisco that like are not great, like they're unsafe places.
Yeah,
and
the
like
Tenderloins.
Yeah, the Tenderloins is not a safe place. Like but like as somebody who like I started this by just interviewing artists in San Francisco every single day for 3 years. That was like what I did. Yeah, and
it's dope.
Thank you. My love for that city is like so much, and it's such a. It's kind of the way I've always thought about it, it's like a mirror to a bigger problem where it's like people judging one aspect of things, where it's such a multifaceted and complicated place, similar to how people are complicated. And it's just like, I think I've met some of the most empathetic and beautiful people my entire life from there, and they just don't, like, it's just so hard to hear outsiders just talk about it as this like fentanyl-ridden hellhole when it's like it's just like a 7 by 7 mile radius. It's a very small city, and the crime is just very solidified in very specific sections of it. It's just a very small city, so it's like things like that are easy to point out, but it has the same struggles as a lot of other cities, and it's not perfect, but it definitely sucks to have people just like tear it to shreds. It's like a media punching bag.
And I think, I mean, in the song, it is about San Francisco, but I think there's also like an underlying message of like seeing myself or seeing yourself in that city, because like not everyone's perfect either. Like, you know, people have their flaws, and
I've never heard anybody else say that.
Oh, really?
Who's not from the Bay Area. That's really incredible.
Yeah.
Because like you look like if you're able to look past all that like ugly parts of the city, you know how dope it is, bro. Like San Francisco's cool as fuck.
Yeah. And like if you look past ugly parts of me, I'm pretty dope too. No, but like yeah, like everyone has their flaws, and I think it's important to embrace those. And I it's like you like things because, but you love things despite. So it's like I like this thing because of these features, but I love this thing despite its flaws, you know, like that's true love. It's like you love it despite everything that makes it not perfect, I guess. So
yeah, man. I couldn't have put that better, and that's exactly how I feel about San Francisco. Yeah, my dream of dreams is by age 30 to open a venue in the city. Dude, that's like my number one dream.
Awesome,
I mean that's like
fucking dope.
Yeah, thank you, dude. But it's so fundamental to who I am, and like so core to who I am. So that song resonated with me a lot because I think it's just like a perspective I've really never heard anybody who's not from the city have. And it's interesting too because like I know everybody internally in the Bay Area like recognizes and understands how much of a punching bag it is, but I often find that people who aren't from there don't see it the same way. Like they haven't like picked up on the fact that it's just like as big of a target as it is. So it was cool and very very, I guess, validating to hear that.
Oh yeah, I'm glad someone from the Bay Area likes it.
Yeah,
appreciate that, man.
You guys played there on tour, right?
Yeah, we played Berkeley and then San Jose.
Oh, sick.
And then
where'd you play in Berkeley?
Oakland. Oh no, Berkeley.
Thorson House.
Where? Art House?
Thorson House.
We played Art House as well, though.
Okay, cool.
The first time we went up there, we played in Berkeley at the Art House.
Okay, nice.
And then the second time, we played at the Thorson House at the university.
Yeah.
The homies Cherry Domingo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Shout out Cherry Domingo.
Shout out Cherry. Love those guys.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Super cool, down to earth.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And then San Jose with Lovers Peak.
Where'd you play in San Jose?
After hours. It's like a skate house kind of. It's like a house, but like
it's like right outside the campus area.
Do you know that, Mario? Mario's from San Jose.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Do you know Lovers Peak?
The band?
Yeah, we play with them.
Do you know Little Jaime?
Lil Jaime went to my high school.
No way! No way you just dropped Lil Jaime, bro.
Because I was like, I heard you say you from San Jose. I was like, you know Lil Jaime?
No way, bro. You just dropped Lil Jaime on the pod.
Is he the key holder? Is he San Jose key holder?
Bro,
we forgot to check it.
We don't rep it.
Oh, God. If he's watching this right now, the key holder is Yonix Jones. Shout out to Yonix Jones. That guy's the king of San Francisco, or the king of San Jose. I can't believe you just dropped Lil Jaime, bro. That's crazy.
You guys like Papa Shingao?
My bad, bro.
Crazy San Jose Lil right now.
That's funny.
You guys gotta move to the Bay Area.
That's the goal. That's what we want to do.
Really?
Yeah, I love San Francisco.
I want to go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
There's a incredible opportunity for a scene to be built there right now, and I don't think has been like fully realized.
Isn't there like a hardcore scene up there?
Huge hardcore scene.
Yeah.
And that's been alive since I was a kid. I don't think that'll ever end, especially in San Jose. The San Jose hardcore scene is crazy with bands like Tsunami and Big Boy and bands like that. They're just like are huge now, and like there's a ton of other little bands in San Jose. They're like there's a huge South Bay hardcore scene, but like outside of the hardcore scene, there isn't a ton of like realized musical community right now because it's very separated. And I find that bands up there that find a lot of success end up in LA pretty shortly after because there just isn't a lot of infrastructure in the Bay right now for like live music specifically, but also just like DIY music in general. So that's so much of like my dream is like connecting all that and like finding ways to connect the dots. And like right now I'm trying to set up like a residency in the Bay Area where like we throw shows every single month, and like I'm working on this big directory to like connect Bay Area artists to each other right now.
That'd be sick as fuck.
Yeah,
that's dope, dude.
So it's so cool that you guys like have a soft spot for the Bay Area like that.
Dude, I love it. The weather's nice, food's nice, people are cool.
Yeah. Was it interesting putting out a song like that like in the midst of the holidays? Because I imagine you guys were like kind of at a break, right? Because it came out like in November, right?
November? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, mid-November.
It came out like mid-tour.
Yeah.
You guys were on tour when you put it out?
Yeah, and like because our tour was like 2 dates. It was like basically the weekends. So we would go for the weekend, come back, go up, and like I was recording, you know, Monday through Thursday,
Mhm.
and then we'd be up there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back down, record. And throughout that time I was in school. You guys were school and work, so we were like in the midst of everything. But it was definitely tough, but it was definitely rewarding because like we wanted to do something for the tour. And it's a bonus track for the mixtape, so it was like, you know,
here go two more for you.
There's two more for you. Yeah.
We got two more for you.
yeah. So we just wanted to, we knew we wanted to do it. We knew we kind of had to do it fast because we didn't want to release it during December or like.
Plus, we wanted to play it live. We were itching to play it live, and then we couldn't do it because it wasn't out yet, and people were like, "What the hell is this song?"
Yeah, dude, I was fighting for it. Though. I was like, guys, please.
I was fighting not to play.
I want to play it so bad.
there goes that because he said he didn't want to play it.
Yeah.
So like that was a very conscious decision to, you know, like we know we want to play it, we know we got it, but you know it's not the time to play it. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would imagine it'd be a fun one live. It's definitely a more upbeat, more energetic song, and I think some of the songs of the project for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Did you were you expecting the reception that the song kind of got when you were playing it live? How did you kind of feel about like the way people reacted to it live, and was it what you were expecting or no?
I was nervous about playing it live because we practiced it maybe twice because like you know we were
but not completed though. So
yeah, like we would 3-piece it.
Yeah, it would be myself, Leo, and our drummer Nick one day, and then myself, Bardo, and Nick another day, but never all four of us together.
Yeah, we never practiced all four. And then, but they kept bugging. They're like, "Dude, we gotta play." And I was like, "All right." And it went. You know, people were excited for it. Especially when we said like this is about San Francisco because we're in San Jose. So people, you know, they know that we're from Southern California. So I think that maybe made it better.
It was cool too because we played it in slow in San Luis Obispo, and we play. I think that was the first or second time we played it.
Oh yeah, it was slow. It wasn't San Jose.
Yeah,
slow,
it was the first time we played. I found he was like, "Fine, we'll do it." I was like, "Yeah." So we played it, and then I felt really good about it. Obviously, like it could always be touched up. Like no performance is ever gonna be like 100%. Like there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
But after I'm like sitting at the merch table, and like one of the people that watched the show, they come up to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, San Francisco's my favorite song now because I'm from San Francisco." And I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like getting ready to go up to Leo. I'm like, "I told you."
Yeah. Dude, those are people that will buy in very, very heavily when they have something to love.
Yeah,
they love wholeheartedly and unconditionally.
Yeah, I'm glad we played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was tour? So this was your guys' first tour. You toured one time prior to this, right?
Yeah, we did a little run with the homies Cleo. That was like I guess a co-headline tour with them. That was our first time ever doing it. And this time it was like our tour. How
was the experience this time versus the last time? And were you like seeing any of the same people coming out to the shows? Did you recognize any trends or anything with any of the folks that were there?
Arthea, because she's from San Francisco. The first time we went, it was pretty funny.
She lives in the city, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
She actually lives like right on what's it called, Haight
Street.
She lives right there. Yeah.
Oh, that's
and that's where to live. And that's where we stayed when we played up there.
What side? Were you closer to the Panhandle, like Golden Gate Park?
We were right there. Yeah, we walked to Golden Gate Park. Oh no, we walked to Pink. How far? Yeah, wait. We did walk. Yeah, no, we did.
Like right on the street where they have a bunch of like thrift shops.
No, remember when you went to go use the bathroom and we waited?
Oh,
that was that park?
I didn't realize it. We were at Golden Gate Park waiting for you. Like, we were
like 5 blocks down. Yeah,
super right sprawled out.
It was cool.
That's a really cool place to stay.
Yeah, we're so grateful. Shout out to my Thea.
Shout out.
Yeah. Really. But what was it? Oh yeah. So the first time we went, we didn't know that we went during summer, so no one was in school, so everyone was out of town.
Yeah.
We didn't know these were college towns we were hitting.
So, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So when we went, not a lot of people. That's okay.
Which is okay. As long as there's one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm cool.
And so the next time we went during school, and it was more people. Yeah, no, we got a good crowd. Every show was like a surprise. We're like, damn, okay, people do live here.
Were you playing at college towns primarily?
For both times. Yeah, we played. The first. So this tour we played at a frat house at Berkeley, and then which was a cool experience, a weird experience, but it was cool.
Do you remember what bands that was with?
Cherry Domingo.
Oh, that was Cherry.
I forgot who the other ones were.
Was it a Bay band?
Yeah, they were like in the school. Like it was like a frat house, and the people that were playing were in the band.
Cool.
So yeah, that was fun.
It was a really cool experience.
Yeah, and then the second time, San Jose, literally right across the street from their university. Slow was in like downtown.
Yeah, it was a weird.
On
Yeah.
Choro Street.
Choro Street.
Yeah, and then Santa Barbara was literally right down the street from the. Yeah.
Oh, Santa Barbara was weird. I mean, not weird, but it was cool. Like there was,
Yeah.
it was on the.
Right along the coast.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you walk down like the set of stairs to go to the beach, and the beach was like right there.
No,
Like
and-
Isla Vista?
Mhm.
It was Elvis. Yeah.
Nice.
But
It
there
was-
was like party after party after
It was.
house show after house
I didn't
show.
realize that that's literally like a college. Like everybody that lived in those neighborhoods was just the kids that go to the college.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Especially there.
I got
Yeah.
a bunch of anxiety leaving because there were so many people
On
in
the
the
streets.
in the street.
Yeah, like the
I'm like,
Walking
oh
Dead,
my
yeah.
god, this is so overwhelming. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle this right now. And like, cause like, that show specifically was super cool because it was a good crowd. It was in a backyard,
Mm-hmm.
but the crowd in the first band wasn't there because we played second or third, or we played third.
Played third.
The crowd that was for the second band was like, I would say like 75% of it was new
Damn.
people because
Okay,
they just
sick.
left, went to like some other party, and then another group walked to the back and like came to watch. I was like, this is
It was
cool.
like people shuffling in and out. Because as soon as
Yeah.
that band stopped, they went to the next party.
Oh,
It was
And
like-
then another group came in,
Yeah.
came to this house.
Yeah.
The
It was fun.
college
Bro, it was
tour is a
sick.
cheat code. Like
It was fun.
It's a cheat code,
Yeah.
bro.
Mhm.
It's like I always talk about how like house shows are kind of like a similar like cheat code because like as a small band, you just get a built-in crowd. Like you don't have to rely on like building a bill out at a venue that people come to for $15
Yeah.
if it's just like a house party
Yeah.
and there's just kids there because there's kids there and like
House-
they'll
yeah.
do it. It's kind of a cheat code. My friends run this organization company called Free the Youth and they throw some really sick
Hmm.
shows.
Oh yeah.
From the Bay.
They're
So they're
San
from Santa
Diego.
Cruz and then from LA.
Maybe think someone else.
Yeah. Well, but they throw tons of shows in the Bay though, so maybe
Okay.
you are. Yeah, but anyway, so they did a bunch of college tours when they were first starting, and that I remember watching that shit, and I was like, that shit, it's such a cheat code, dude, because you can just like, there's built-in people.
Yeah, people. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about building like any kind of like really like allure or like just
Yeah.
anything.
It's
'Cause-
cool because everyone's there just for like a good time, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys like after doing the second tour? Is the way that you're approaching your live stuff a lot different than it was in the early days of the band? Now that you have this record out and you have new music coming out as well, like, are you approaching live shows differently? And if so, like, what do you think are the biggest things you've learned?
Well, I would say you guys speak on that more because I wasn't there in the beginning.
I was just gonna say like this last tour, it made me appreciate our live sets more because we were, driving long distance, staying at essentially like couch surfing,
Yeah.
and so it made me appreciate our live sets because like okay, we came out all this way, we
Shout out Robbie, by the way.
yeah Robbie
Our
from
boy,
Fresno.
yeah, boy Robbie.
Yeah.
It's my goat.
Yeah.
And so just like to like really like give our all 100% because we made it the effort to come out this way, and so it just gave me like a newfound appreciation to like perform and like actually do the job, like get your shit done.
Yeah.
Basically.
Because when you're down here and you drive 20 minutes to a show, like we're still giving it our all, but there's not that pressure. Like okay, like
We drove across the state.
yeah, we drove 8
Yeah.
hours. Like when you drive 8 hours, like okay, dude, like we get one. People don't know us. Like people, we got kind of one shot for these guys to like us. So yeah, we definitely try to make it as like just like a punch. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always felt like the goal should be to like give them the kind of thing that's so unforgettable that every single time you're in their city they'll come back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was the goal. Yeah.
Like,
so hopefully when we go
exactly.
back up, people will come back. Yeah.
Have you guys like noticed anybody who's been like returning to like Integra Pink shows so far? Have you found any like recurring fans, you think?
Down here for sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We haven't. We're gonna. I mean, we're definitely planning to go back up there soon. Down here, yeah, we notice, and I don't know if people like because when you're in the crowd, like when I went to go see like the vaccines at the
Mhm.
Telegram Ballroom, you're part of the crowd, and you don't think the people on stage notice you, but when we're playing, I can see everyone's faces. Like I know, like
Dude, yeah.
So it's like I notice when people come and like when people return. So yeah, like we really appreciate that, and it always like gives me like a boost of energy when I see people like are actually you know caring about what we do. So yeah, we know
that's something I love about Integra Pink too. Is like they're always like, we are always down to like switch it up and like give something new for like, okay, like keep coming back. It's not going to be the same thing you saw last time.
Yeah.
And I saw an interview, I forget his name. It's like BB No Money, the guy who did that like super popular song. He has like, he's like has these crazy like records, and he was explaining how when he tours, he doesn't really make a lot of money off of it. And if anything, he loses money to make it happen. But like the people interviewing were like, why do you do it then? And he's like, because it's like giving an experience to the fans to like want to keep them in like the fan base forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, dude, that's like, even like the big dogs are saying that. Like, I care more about like doing something for the people who like love our music versus like, I'm just trying to make a living. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And like to touch on like what you were saying earlier about like just doing like what you want, saying fuck it, I'm gonna put it out.
Yeah.
Like the music's in a sense like an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you want people to like I want people to fuck with me. I want people to like me in the same way like I want them to like my music. Because if you don't like your music, you're saying you don't like me. Because how you were saying like this is a product of what I grew up on, what I listened to, like the media I took.
Yeah.
So like basically what I'm saying is we love performing for like the fans. Like it's only for the fans.
Well, it's such a different interaction too than the internet is. Like you have the potential. It's so interesting. I think about this all the time. It's like you could have a TikTok or music go viral tomorrow, right? Let's say like there's 100,000 likes on it, whatever. You know, a ton of people see it. You could make like 2 fans off that. But if you're in a room and you're playing live to 300 people and you give them all the best show they've ever had, you just made like 200 fans.
Dude,
it's just like the conversion rate is so different. And it's like I always think about the concept of 1,000 true fans, where it's like if you can convert one fan at you know, 1 fan, 2 fan, 3 fan, whatever, at every single show, you're building a community. And it's like show after show after show, you're just getting stronger and bigger, and like the community just grows. And it's a lot of it, I think, has to be like person to person, eye to eye, heart to heart.
It's like, dude, cause damn, I didn't even think of it like that. Cause like in a like you see, like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then you're a scroll away. Yeah, and that's it. Like you just scroll away, and that's it. Like, oh yeah, that's cool. Let me give it a like, whatever. Yeah. But like when you perform, it's so much more intimate, especially like the smaller venues. Not saying like I don't want to play a big venue. Obviously, that's everybody's dream. Yeah. But well, I still appreciate the small ones because they're more intimate. They're more like you could see these people, how you say, eye to eye, like build that connection, make like the fan base stronger. It's just such a different level of buy-in. Yeah, like you're just so much more involved with the person there. Because they're like going out of your way to see you. You're going out of your way to like perform. Like it's a mutual effort for both parties to be there. Bro, we swipe past the next Paul McCartney every single day. Like we would swipe past the fucking Mona Lisa. It means nothing. But like when it's in front of your face, you just can't ignore it. Yeah,
it's almost undeniable. Yeah, I always think of the concept of like 1,000 true fans, like that idea where like if you have 1,000 people that they are a true fan of what you're doing, right? So I mean, that means like they're seeing you every time you're in their city, they're buying your merch, like they're streaming your records, they're doing all this stuff. Like, you know, a true fan, if you can find 1,000 of those in any artistic medium, you have a career. You're golden. Yeah. Like you're good. And I don't know, that's why it's always hard to kind of balance the live versus social media stuff. How do you guys like, because even with the stuff you put out on social media, it seems very calculated, very specific. It all has like a very pink aesthetic to it. How do you kind of navigate that world where you guys are like a live act first, but like you're also focusing on like doing the social media stuff? Bart, I see you shaking your head. I feel like you have
No, I'm just it's tough. It's definitely
hard.
Yeah. Because you don't want to submit to like the whole social media artist where you're having to upload 5 videos a day, and it's a certain way that everyone's doing, but then you also need to throw yourself out there. You need to have some sort of presence out there, or else you're just gonna get overlooked. I mean, you need people to come to your shows, so you need to actually it's like keeping up with the times is difficult, because like how you're saying, like you have to be like, you can't really like get a name for yourself, especially now with the times changing. Like you have to be online, you have to have a social media presence of some kind, like whether it's like how it was before where you're just always putting stuff out, or like kind of like, oh, every now and then here's something.
It's difficult, and like something for me at least, like a big fear I have is like, you ever see those SoundCloud rappers that are like, hey, 30 or like 100 likes and new song out Friday,
Yeah.
and then they get 30 likes and they still drop it. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be that guy, bro. But
Yeah,
like,
that's
sometimes
crazy.
you have to, though, you know.
Yeah.
I think like social media is like definitely like it's a necessary evil. I think the important thing is that like to kind of you kind of have to play the game, but do it in a way that's kind of on your terms and like put things out that you like, and don't just do like guess who the drummer is or something like that. Like which is cool. Like I still watch those. I still watch them and I think they're funny.
Yeah.
I still guess.
Yeah, I still guess. I be commenting, no, but like we do like Pink TV, like
Yeah, those are really cool.
Thank you, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. That's like our version of okay, like you know, this is who we are, like you know, like because we do want people to know, like this is this is what we do, this is the behind the scenes, like this is who we are as people. But we want to like make sure that everything that we put out is like who we are and what we want to do, and you know, it's true to what we want. Yeah, true to who we are.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like it's funny because like now they're gonna like get rid of TikTok or I don't know.
Yeah.
And
I
then
don't
I'm
know.
like, oh, dude, to
It'd
myself.
be crazy if they did. It'd change everything.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I feel like there's always gonna be like an app that
For sure, yeah.
So there's gonna be other TikToks. Or,
Yeah, you're right.
But for me, I was like in my head, I'm like, okay, if they bring back TikTok, I swear I'll start posting. But now I'm like, dude, I don't. Like,
If they bring back Vine, bro, I'm on there.
Oh, dude, I miss Vine, man.
Tumblr makes a comeback. I swear to God, I'm the first one there.
Dude, catch me on MySpace, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I'll spaz out on MySpace.
Yeah, I think it's so hard to like kind of what you were saying, like figure out the way to do it on your terms. Because
Yeah.
like I really strongly believe there's like really creative ways to do it, and
Yeah.
like I think there's tons of artists that do it. But sometimes, interestingly enough, I feel like this is kind of a trend that I've noticed in the last year or two, maybe the last 2 years. Like the anti-social media sometimes more aura than like the social media at all.
Yeah.
Like there are artists that are curating their social media pages almost as if it's like a mood board in like this like super specific and super creative fashion, where it's like if you just think of these things as just like, I guess just like mediums to be creative in any way, shape, or form, you can find like, you know, relatively interesting and creative ways to use them. But it's so hard because I think our brains have just been engineered to like, let's do the Who's the Drummer video, or let's do like the Guess the Song video. You know what I mean?
It's like I feel like that's the hardest part about it, is like finding that balance to where we're doing what we want without doing like the trendy stuff, you know, doing what everybody else is doing, but not completely being like out of the loop, you know. So I think that's what's difficult, and like doing it in your own way that's tasteful as well, like making it like Integra Pink.
Yeah, I think a good way to look at it is like, because this is kind of our approach, is that you know, not everyone is fortunate enough to be able to come out to a bunch of local shows.
For sure.
And so we want to give people who are, you know, staying home like something that they can cling on to, which is like the Pink TV episodes. We film a lot of our shows. We film a lot of the behind the scenes, what we do before and after hanging out. And it's like, this is for the people like, you know, maybe you're not able to come to a show, but like, here's, you know, this is for you. Like, here's the music, here's the show, here's the clips of the show, here's us hanging out. Like, so that way they're like, you know, if they do go out to a show, like, oh, let me go to Integra Pinks, like that shit looks fun, you know, or let's hang out, let me hang out with these guys. You know, instead of just like, you know, the boring, not boring, but just like the same things that everyone else is doing, because
like
you kind of have to imagine yourself, like imagine you're the one on the phone watching. It's like, okay, well, what do they want to see, you know?
Which seems simple, but I think a lot of people just don't do that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like, I think you kind of have to, you know, remember that it's the same thing with like what you do, like the merch you have. Make merch that people are gonna want to wear. Make music people are gonna want to listen to, and just you know, keep the audience in mind. I think as much as we wanna, and we do, like we were talking about earlier, we do what we want to do, and we do what makes us happy. But I think it is important to keep the audience in mind, because like, you know, they're supporting you. You know, they're buying into what you're giving them. Like, give them something, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's also so much about like curating a second level of fandom, where it's like I think sometimes the shows can only do so much, or the social media can only do so much, but the two in tandem, I think, is where things get like really, really, really special, and you're able to start like curating like real fans that are bought in on like a serious level.
Yeah,
but I think you're right, like doing it on your own terms is something that's really, really difficult, but I think it's obviously super, super vital. Have you guys like on this last tour and stuff, did you kind of notice at all like what the average Integra Pink fan is like? Like, did you notice any like similarities between them?
Cool as shit, dope as fuck, swag the fuck out.
Yeah. They smoke too tough. Their bitches are too bad. They're gonna kill them. They're too cool.
They're the
Smoke
best.
the loudest.
Yes.
No, Integra Pink fans are always like, I mean, the ones we've interacted with, super nice, super like really like approachable. I mean, they approach us like we approach them, like free sticker, like whatever. Like they're super cool, and like if you hate Integra Pink, you probably stink. Probably smell like shit.
Ooh, that's a bar.
Ooh.
You hate Integra Pink.
Write that down.
Yeah. No, but like,
No, so far, like the people that I've noticed, like the type of people that like I've seen that are like, oh, we're fans, are the people who are like, as I don't want to call it corny, but like they're not afraid to be themselves, and I fuck with that. Like I love people who are like no, this is me. If you don't like me, like whatever.
Yeah.
And like those type of people I notice are fans, and like that's what I like too, because the support we have, like this is our genuine self. Like we put out what we want, and so we know like the people that support it, they're gonna like they're on the same like wavelength, you know, like oh this is who I am. I fuck with what I fuck with.
That's got to be such a gratifying experience to like realize that the fan base is taking after things that you value. Like I always think that's really cool when you realize that the community is being built.
Yeah, and like not just that too, like not even more like them taking like a page out of our book, but more so like and I'm not trying to speak on behalf of the band, but us taking a page out of their book. Yeah, like I get more like motivated, and like I can learn more from like people in the crowd than like they probably do for me, you know. Like I see a person in the crowd wearing what they want, saying what they want to say, doing what they want to do, and I'm like, dude, like why don't we do that on stage, you know? Like I fuck with that. Like you're inspiring me more than like you think I'm inspiring you. You know?
See like some of the audience dancing, you start dancing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly, dude. Like I get more from like them than they probably do for me, to be honest.
Dude, have you ever been like at a show in a room and just like it's so dead, and then all of a sudden one person starts going hella hard, and then
literally that very first show we played in Santa Cruz, the first tour we did, there was like one, maybe two people in the crowd that weren't like, you know, with us, and then this one dude just came in. He was a traveling man, and he just comes in, starts moshing, starts swinging his arms, dancing, going crazy. I'm like because I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not upset, but I'm like, dang, you know, I wish more people were here. I see him go crazy, automatically at 180 I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go crazy now. That's literally like what happened to a T, dude. I was like, hell yeah, dude. If one guy's going crazy, I'm going crazy.
Because Leo and I were upset at each other, and then low-key, when that happened, I was like, bro, this is awesome.
Yeah, that don't even matter anymore, bro. Like I'm going crazy now.
There's funny.
It is cool when someone starts to mosh pit too. Like you're like, all right, we need that guy.
It's kind of like an icebreaker, and it's really crazy how instant it is too. It's like you can go from like the crowd being so dead to one person like starts to pit, or one person starts jumping, or one person starts.
That's all it takes too, because it's like
everybody else changes.
I've noticed too, and I was like telling him about it as well. I was like, I would say maybe like 70% of the crowd, they want to dance, they want to move around, they're just shy. Like they don't want to be that first person to be like, dude, like take the leap, like, oh, what if no one dances with me, whatever. But like that's also why like I love the fan base we're curating, because it's like it's those people who are gonna dance first. That I don't care who's looking, I'm gonna do what I want, and then everybody starts going crazy, and it just takes that one person.
There have been times where like we're playing a show, and like, you know, what's it called, in the first song, like we kind of start looking at each other, like that's how we start off, and like they'll be dead, and then like I'll be facing Nick, and then once I turn around, everyone's dancing. It's just like a switch, and I think that's like the coolest when it's like the vibe just kind of changes like that, and people are into it, you know.
It's one of the most beautiful things about live music, I think, is that it kind of gives you like a place to just like feel like that's okay. Where like if you're home or you're doing somewhere else, you're with people, you can feel anxious and scared and whatever, but it's just like there's something about the energy that is filled in a room by live amplified instruments that is just like unrecreatable.
It's like controlled chaos. It's like, you know, do what you want, like, you know, but it's in a controlled environment, you know.
That's like a goal too, like making a safe space for people when they do come out.
Yeah, definitely.
I think like every artist, at least I hope so, like up and coming, wants to do that for the fans, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like giving them a place to be themselves. That's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But also, like, for me, a goal for every show is to, like, at least have some, like, mosh pit, like, happen. Like, I don't know when it started happening. Like, I'm not gonna say our songs aren't crazy, but they're pretty, like, you know, upbeat, and so, like, we started having a lot of people like mosh in our audience, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking sick. So every show we have, like, I'm like, okay, my goal is to at least have like
start one pit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like bittersweet for me too when that happens, because I love when people mosh, but I hate that I can't be in there with them, because I want to mosh and dance around too. But.
Yeah.
I would imagine I actually didn't even think about this till just now, but I think with like a band like you guys, where like you have so much going on sonically, and there's so many different sounds happening, I would imagine that like from song to song you're able to build like a really dynamic track list where it's like you can really. I had this I guess an example of this is like I had a friend on the podcast named Maddie Davis, and she was explaining to me how she builds her set lists out, and I found it very interesting. She was saying she takes all of her songs and she ranks them on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being like a sad acoustic ballad, 5 being an upbeat banger, right? And it's like she tries to put like the 5s after the 1s and the 1s after the 5 and kind of like make this sequential order.
Holy crap, she made her own algorithm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, smart.
But I would imagine with you guys, you have so many songs that are slower and you have so many songs that are more upbeat. It's a huge range, especially in a genre level. So like building the set list out and stuff like that, what's kind of your guys' methodology with it? Are you really concerned with what's coming first and last and the middle? And like how do you kind of begin to build that out? What's the philosophy there?
We make sure that the set list flows. We make sure that it's always like a good song, because even songs like Sangre compared to
song.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, dude. Like that, a song like that compared to a song like Smack or Lockjaw, it's, you know, it's not as amped, it's not as fast, it's not a song that people. It's a less of a moshy song, but the way I think the way we play it live and the way we integrate it in the set makes it so that it's able to be moshed too. So it's like
moshable.
Yeah. So it's like we make sure that, like, you know, we start strong. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah. No, you were saying like start strong, finish strong, and then like make it like a smooth ride in between.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I love too that we do sometimes is at the show, like we'll have like a set list in mind, and then we kind of see how the crowd's feeling, how they're moving, and then we'll just pivot. We'll be like, hey, you know what? Let's do this instead. Like I think the crowd would like this better, the way like they're behaving. Sick. So we do that. Honestly, we do that a lot.
So only just to see, like, because we always have the audience in mind. Like whenever they're, you know, if they're feeling it, then we'll adjust the set list. But like I've heard people, like they're always telling us, you guys gotta like speak to the crowd and kind of have like an interaction with them. Yeah. And I get that, but for me, like maybe that's probably where we probably have like I think we do a lot better in that we just like play the music and then just keep it going, and because like people are there to like just like have fun and like dance, and so like I can appreciate a band that can do that well, where they can like kind of go back and forth with the audience in that respect. But for me, like I just like I see them dancing, I don't want them to stop, so I just want them to keep it going.
I will say though, God, there's some fucking artists where like they'll like tell the story or like say the song, like you don't have to say something every single song. So I appreciate what you guys do, because I think sometimes, God, dude, some motherfuckers just like say shit after every single song.
Yeah, it's
like,
a whole monologue.
And like I appreciate, you know, the context or the story or like, but there is a degree where like it feels branded. It feels very polished and like produced in a kind of a negative way. Sometimes when an artist, at least to me, in my perception, sometimes when an artist can like song after song after song has like a whole like rehearsed monologue after it. And I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, dude, just like play the music. Like there's got to be some songs that are so good sequentially that you would put them back to back without talking in between them, because you really can ruin the flow of stuff, I think, pretty quick.
Oh my bad, I was just gonna say, like, not saying that like, you know, people don't want to hear that, but like there's a time and place for it,
sure.
And I just think sometimes it's not then. Like I like when artists like tastefully weave in convo with the crowd, or like have crowd interaction, like how he was saying when they balance it, but it's like flowing, it's nice, like you can keep moving, you can keep dancing.
It's very specific. Like it's a very fine line. I feel like it's hard to tote, I would imagine. And then again, you know, I'm over here saying this, but I'm not the one performing. But I guess like I would imagine it'd be hard to tote that line between like, am I talking enough? Am I talking too much?
Is.
You know? But I would imagine like if you guys are able to, because I think that's really interesting that you're able to kind of like pivot on a dime, like when you're actually like in the middle of a set, and you can pivot like, well, the crowd's moving in this way, so this song with this specific energy may or may not be better for this specific crowd. That's really interesting. To do that, I would imagine you have to be like very locked in with like all the songs in your catalog, and everybody be super locked in, be able to play them like on a dime. So what's your kind of practicing routine like? Are you guys playing before shows?
Leo, me, and our drummer Nick have been playing for like 7 years.
Damn.
So I would say they're more locked in.
No, but hold on. Remember Ocean? Okay, so we played a show in Oceanside, and someone asked us. We were walking, and they're like, "Hey, you know what kind of bands are on tonight?" And the only other band that we knew was Cleo, the one we came with, so we were like, "No, not really." And he was like, "Oh, can I mosh to you guys?" And we were like, "Yeah, you can." Like we don't tell him, "No, you can't leave." Like, "No, yeah, you can mosh to us." So then
so he was like, "Yeah, we got a song for you. Just make sure you stay to the end." And he was like,
for permission's crazy.
I know. And he was like, "Yeah, for sure." And he goes back, he tells all his homies, but go ahead.
So then at the time, I mean, we still have the song, but he didn't know it. Yeah. So we were like, so I just told him like, "Hey, the chords are, was it B to D? What is it, right? B to D."
Yeah, B to
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever.
Simple, yeah.
And then E to C sharp, and then so we never practiced that song
ever
before. Like, I've heard the song. I've heard them play it before when I go support before I was joining, before I joined the band. So like I had like a general idea, but I never like actively listened. Where I'm like, I need to listen to learn it.
Like these are the changes, these are the chords.
Yeah. So he was like, "We're gonna do it," and I was like, "All right," but like I'm down, like, because they're more locked into where they can like pivot and be comfortable about it. But I would argue that like, at least for now, like I'm just more like in a fuck it mindset, like let's just see what happens. Like, let me take a shot real quick and then get to work. Like it's just having like they're all really talented too. So like if I like mess up, they'll like find a way to cover it up.
Yeah.
So
damn.
Like
I mean, we pulled it off. I mean, that was a good show. People.
And like the last show we did at the Roxy, it was a new song. We only practiced maybe like 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys went to Roxy with Strawberry Fuzz, right? That's one of my favorite bands.
They were sick. Awesome. They were really nice people too.
Yeah, I never met them, but from an outside perspective, I'm like, God, I'm such a fan of what they're doing. I feel like in this scene of like Southern California music, they're so underrated. I think they're doing some of the coolest shit.
Dude, they're some sick shows.
Their stage performance was
crazy,
insane. Like they literally blew the roof off that place, and I was like, holy shit.
And what I like too is that like they're cool people when you talk to them, but like when everyone else was playing, like they were in the crowd too.
I love when bands
they were they were super sick.
Dude,
that was cool.
Yeah, I love when bands do that, and I think I always notice when they don't.
Like
dude,
they weren't,
literally, and I never want to be that band.
Yeah, like the big bands that like you can kind of tell they're looking down on you. Didn't get that from them at all. Like they spoke to us as like equals. That's super sick. Polite, super involved. Like it wasn't just like, oh, you're here at my show. Like no, they're like, hey, thank you for being a part of it.
100%. Yeah, we've talked to bands that are like half the size of them who are dickheads.
Yeah.
And like they were super nice. They were, they were awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, and I think I've only begun to like realize this in the past like. I'd be interested to see if you guys kind of feel the same way, because I know you said you've been doing this for like 7 years, which is about how long I've been doing it too. Like I'm on like year 7.
Nice.
And I think in the past like 2 years I've seen a lot of people that I began with stop.
Yeah.
And I've really noticed like specific trends in the personalities of folks that maintain longevity. And it's always that mentality you just described. It's always like openness and being kind,
like humility.
And humility, exactly. Like they're not self-obsessed. They're not self-absorbed.
I'm the most humble guy I know. No, but I mean, we like I said, like we never want to be the band that's like doesn't pay attention to the openers. Like we'll always try to catch songs from like the bands playing before us, because we were. I mean, even that show we were the openers, but like other shows were headliners. Like we were openers before. Like we want people to be there watching us, and it's like I want to support the people that are coming up and I mean, we're still coming up too, but yeah, I never want to be the band that just like who doesn't give a fuck about the openers.
Yeah.
It's just such an easy thing to do to care. Like it's such an easy step to take.
Yeah.
Just stand there and listen to 3 songs.
Yeah,
sure, dude.
And some of the there's like some slept on bands in like the scene that like
bro.
aren't cracking like 200 Spotify listeners, but like they're putting on really really good shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
Yeah.
I feel like there's no correlation to that nowadays, where like people are like, oh, these guys are playing, but they have like 200 Spotify listeners. Like it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't really need to.
Yeah.
And I hate that people look at the numbers like that.
Yeah.
In that way, but again, like, it's kind of like a business where it's like that's what people like really look to now. So
Yeah.
it sucks, but yeah.
That's super true. Being in like you guys not being from LA, but being like from Southern California and like adjacent areas, but you play in LA a ton.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like a strong connection to a lot of like the LA music scene? Is that like where you identify with more, or like do you know a lot of bands from like IE and stuff like that? Like I guess like High Cribbers are from IE. Like I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah, like, I
And,
think I
like-
was in an art class with the guitar player.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Because he's also in Astronaut Samurais too.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, we know a lot of bands from like LA, and like some of my favorite bands growing up. I mean, like older bands, but like but our connection to that scene is just like the friends we make when we're playing in LA, bands that are from LA, the venues, and that's another thing too. Like when bands play, I don't really like it when bands just show up for their set and leave. Like I love getting there early. I love getting there an hour before, loading, talking with everybody, staying
The
after.
real Integra Pink is the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. No, but like getting pizza after, getting food after with new people that you're meeting and stuff.
Yeah.
That's I mean it helps like the band because you're networking, but like just meeting new people because it's fun to like talk to new people. Like that's one of the best parts of being in a band is like how many new people you get to meet and becoming friends. Like I met him a year and a half ago, and now he's like he's like a brother to me, and it's like I would have never done that if after our set we left, because you guys were right after us, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What was that show that you guys met at?
It was
Well, I didn't know that. Sorry.
so
Technically,
we met at this show in Apple Valley.
Apple Valley?
Yeah,
What's that?
it's a neighboring city to where I live in
Uh-huh.
Victorville. Again, it's on the like way out there in the high desert.
Uh-huh.
No one really knows it. My friend and his now former band, he was setting up a show with another band called All Hollow. And they were like, we really need like a headliner, we need another band. And he found Integra Pink. So it was really him that like connected us.
shout out Joey.
Yeah, shout out
out.
Joey, Joseph, and Luna. So he put the bill together, and like we kind of talked, but at the time I was working overnight. So after shows, I had to just dip, and like I felt
work?
I
Damn.
felt terrible for it, but I was like, nah, dude, I really gotta go.
Bro, that's a grind. I used to have to do that when I was interviewing artists when I lived in the Bay
Yeah,
Area.
dude, it's tough, huh?
I do a morning interview. Like I drive to the city. 'Cause I'm from Concord, which is like an East Bay Area suburb, which is like
Okay.
30 minutes outside of San Francisco, like 30 or 40. But I would like do the same thing. I'd have to like drive to the city. I'd do an interview, and then directly after it, I'd just have to like throw my work clothes on in the car and dip straight back to where I live.
Yeah, dude, it was tough. Like I would have my work uniform in my backseat.
Yeah.
Like, on the way, I'm like, shit, I gotta change.
Dude,
I gotta
same,
I'm like,
yeah.
fuck.
That's the
But-
exact sensation.
Yeah.
It's like throwing that shit on. You're like, I got 20 minutes. I'm gonna get there exactly when my shift starts. and I'm getting changed in the car and I'm not eating.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'll eat on my break, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's such a trip, bro. Yeah.
That's like such a specific phenomenon.
Yeah, but it was that show where we met. Like, but I didn't really like talk to them.
Mhm.
Like it was just like, oh, like what's up? Like let's meet you. And they're like, yeah, they were cool, and that was it. But then like the first thing I remember is being on the game with them.
No, remember we played FTG, Snare Noise.
That's right.
That's just what I was talking about because we played in FTG in Santa Ana.
FGG Warehouse?
Yeah.
FTG Warehouse.
Is that place still around?
No, they
No,
closed
rest
like
in peace.
a couple months ago.
No
yeah.
way, really?
A couple months ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
pretty recently,
recent.
too.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
And
how close are you guys to Santa Ana? Well, I guess if you're in the desert, you're further. But you guys are closer there? Or?
It's like a 45.
It's like
Yeah.
Anaheim, right?
Yeah, it's like 45. But we played a show with his other band, Snare Noise, where they were after us, and like always, because we're cool. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
We played and we stuck around. We watched the bands, but I loved their set. Like their songs were really well written. I really liked the melodies. And after that, we started talking.
What else? I'm just kidding.
We started
What
talking
else?
with Gio
They're all
and
handsome and
yeah. I don't know about that. But I'm just kidding. No, but we started talking with the band Gio, Joey, and then we started gelling, and then we played a show at a bar in Pomona called the DBA, and then Gio pulled up because he remembered us from the show, and then we started talking even more, and it's just like that. He would not even be in our band if we were just the band that showed up and left.
Because it like snowballed from that very first show where we like saw each other in passing. Because after that show in FTG, Joey went and he's like, "Hey, like it's cool to see y'all again." Like, and then that's when we like started getting to know each other. a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's cool.
It's crazy butterfly effect shit that just spawns from being kind.
I dated my sister.
Yeah, it's crazy. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like that's the story with of other bands that we played with, like LRA, Los Atomicos, like they're
The Souls.
The
Never
Souls.
Speak.
the Souls,
Just like a bunch of
Cold
like
Cut.
it just sometimes it doesn't even feel like a scene. Like it just feels like a homie fest. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like we about to
That's
hop
cool.
on a bill with all the homies.
Lunar
dude.
Riptide, like
Yeah.
they said they said after their set to talk to us, and then like a couple months later we did a collab with them, and it's just like that. Like that's like if that's not being a band, then what is, bro?
Yeah.
Like going to the show, meeting people, having fun, being a part of the scene instead of just going in, getting what you want, and then leaving. It's
Yeah,
like,
like
no,
just being a homie too.
Yeah.
Like, cause even before like we'd be on bills together, like how he said, like my boy Gio went to go see him at the DBA. Like if we're off and we're not doing nothing, like let's go catch Integra Pink and vice
dude.
versa. Like, oh, we're not like, hey, like you guys are playing today, like we're gonna go catch you. What time you guys on? It's like,
Yeah.
We're in a fantasy basketball league with Lunar Riptide.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes like we'll like even ball together.
Yeah, like
They
You guys
do
hoop?
more.
yeah, we you hoop,
dude,
bro?
I hoop.
We should hoop.
Dude,
you
do you need that, bro?
Let me. Yeah, I do.
All right.
Let me know, bro. See, where is it? There. Which one is it? Oh, damn, where's the basketball?
The
one?
baller's right here, bro. The baller's right here.
We
Get out of the way, bro. You can't see what
I
you're
think it's
pointing
over
at.
there. But we threw a musician-based basketball tournament.
Dude,
No.
Dude, we were
couple-
trying to do something like that.
When was this?
This was in March.
I think someone
right?
sent that to us, and we're like, dude, you should do it.
It might have been like. It might have been. I think it was like.
Was the prize like $100 or something?
Yeah, it's $200.
Yeah, we
and
saw
a bunch
that.
of merch.
We couldn't do it, but
You guys saw
Dude,
that?
let us
Yeah,
know
we-
when you're doing
Is
it
that what
again,
that
bro.
bracket is?
Yes, but it got half erased, and there's like a whole bunch of other shit now.
we,
But yeah.
Let us know, bro.
Yeah,
We're doing another one in I think March 17th. That's
Whoa,
tentative
dude.
date, but we're gonna do mid March.
Hey,
Dude.
your schedule.
But
Yeah.
it's threes, and we're doing 32 teams. Prize this time is gonna be like $500 or something, I think. And
Dude,
a whole bunch of
but just
merch
let
and
us
stuff.
know, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'll let you guys know. But we got to hoop. I'm
Dude,
super
that's
down.
so
Yeah.
fucking
Should we
cool.
just talk about what we're gonna do with our money? I'm just playing.
Were there any like real ballers? Because like we
Dude.
ball, but like we're like not that good.
It
Yeah.
was fucked.
LeBron James is not on your team, bro. He's like,
Dude,
he
we-
plays tambourine.
We did a musician-based basketball tournament, but the rules were you had to have one musician on your team, and then one person so you had to have at least one musician, and then your other two people had to, at least one of them had to be involved in art in some way, shape, or form. So there, there were a lot of like one musician, a filmmaker, and then a rando, whatever. These dudes just started
They were, like, recruiting.
It was nuts. Like
Holy shit.
there were two college players that played. Like,
Oh my
like
goodness.
one was like a JC player, and then one played at like a D3 school,
Oh, hell.
and then there was like a bunch of former college players that played.
I
There
think
was
we're busy in March.
Yeah.
You check their ID and it's a picture of them. It's like I am 12. It's like that
bro.
meme, dude.
It's like the vegetable shit.
No
Huh.
way, dude.
There was
Holy
like there were
shit.
two basketball trainers that played,
Bro.
and I was like, dude, you're like an indie artist. Like, why? Is
Dude,
your,
I'm about to call Jaden. I'm about to
Yeah.
call Michael, dude.
Oh,
All the
wow.
hooping homies,
why
bro.
I was like, why is your best friend just like a professional basketball
Yeah.
trainer?
What
That's
the
crazy.
hell?
Yeah, dude. The team that ended up winning, they're this band from San Jose called Peachtree Rascals.
That's a dope ass
Rascals,
name.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, so it was fun though,
That's
dude. It was
crazy.
Dude, we're
so
down
good.
though. Let us
Yeah.
know.
Dude,
'Cause-
damn, after this, remind me to show you a bunch of the videos from it. But it
Please.
was,
Yeah.
We'll definitely like, because if it's like true to that, like where it's gonna be a tournament of bands, like we can reach out to like all the other homies.
Yeah,
like,
because usually
it's
when
just
we
us,
hoop,
yeah.
it's
Make it
like
fours, though, please.
all the homies, like the homie Reggie, like
Yeah.
Sweater No Sweater, That's like his music.
Yeah.
Like he pulls up, Lunar Riptide pulls up.
Where do you guys
Very
play?
nice.
Fontana.
Where's that?
Fontana's like in between Ontario and
Riverside? No, like Rancho.
Redlands. Do you know where Rancho Cucamonga is?
Uh huh.
It's like south of that.
Bro, I'd pull up. Let me know.
Dude,
It's like
yeah.
an hour.
Or like we'll meet you halfway.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we'll find a park closer to you
Yeah.
too, if anything.
I'm hella down. That'd be fun.
That's so
Let us
fucking
know,
funny,
bro.
dude. Hell
Yeah, if we really want to grow into like a huge thing, the hardest part of it is like doing the whole thing and then documenting it at the same time.
Dude, yes.
That's the hard part because
Yeah.
like it was so sick and like so well, but it was so fucking like I've thrown a lot of shows in my life. This was more stressful than any
I can
show I've
imagine.
ever thrown.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, dude, it was
dude,
a
I
lot,
bet,
but it went really really well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick. Yeah, dude, let us know. And then
That's so funny.
always on Tuesdays because we get Taco Tuesday after we hoop. So
Dollar
we
tacos,
hoop.
bro.
bro, that's a goddamn night.
Yeah,
Dollar
bro.
tacos, where?
Dude, we were.
Fontana, bro.
Oh man, those were the days I was in shape, bro. Like we were going every Tuesday. Oh man,
Who's your fourth and your fifth? And you guys run.
Our drummer Nick.
Our drummer Nick.
Nice.
And if we have that, maybe Isaac.
Oh, we gotta
Yeah.
get Brian. Oh,
Isaac
Brian's
My
a
boy
sneaky
Isaac.
good baller, dude. Brian.
Which
Yeah.
The thing is,
Acosta.
sorry, Brian. The thing is, he gets sweaty.
Okay. Well,
Bro
'cause
gets
we also
wet.
have
You don't like
Quizzy.
them oiled up, bro?
No,
We
no.
have
So whoever's
Quizzy,
defending
we
him
have
is
two
like,
Brians.
Dude, playing with somebody who's I'm sorry, this is fucked up, but like playing with somebody who's just like super sweaty is the worst thing in the world when you're guarding them,
Dude,
especially if they're
yeah.
a big man, because like them posting
Dude,
up on
for
you and they're
real.
just like dripping on you. It's
That's,
Oh my
that's why I
God.
stopped playing basketball. Too many sweats.
yeah, dude.
Dude, for real, he's like backing up on you, and you're like,
I'm all wet.
And that was after the game.
what are you doing after the game?
Did you guys grow up playing?
No.
We played baseball.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
grew up like our dad put us in
Nick, our
sports.
drummer, he actually grew up playing basketball, but
He's a
Oh,
hooper?
basketball? Yeah.
yeah, he's like a hooper. But
Yeah.
no,
He
I
looks like he would hoop.
yeah, he's
Just-
okay. I'm
Just from
better.
seeing him live, like he looks like he'd hoop.
Yeah, he's pretty tall. Cause like I know like obviously yeah he's like we know, but like you know he's always sitting behind the drums, so people don't really know. But
Yeah.
he's got.
He's got a basketball back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing like the spider drill.
He's got the,
Yeah.
the Jordans on.
He's got like
Yeah.
one foot on the kick drum, other foot he's just like
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
spider drill.
But we all played sports, but he's like the one that did basketball.
Sick.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Sick. The last tour you guys did, was it all self booked? Did you book it yourself?
internally? Yeah, because like our manager.
Uh-huh.
So it was we did it. But like
Cherry reached out to us.
yeah. So yeah, Cherry reached out to us to play the Berkeley show at the
I love those
Toastmasters.
guys.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Super
Some of my favorite
cool.
people. Anthony supports like Above the Bridge more than almost anybody. He's
Dude,
just
super
such,
nice. Super
such
nice.
a sweetheart. I love this.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Anthony watches like a lot of the interviews, so I better watch this. But
Shout out Anthony.
shout out if you're watching this. I love you very much.
Yeah.
My bad. Real quick.
Uh-huh.
Can I use the restroom?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really
Do where it
gotta
is. Just go in, and then it's gonna be like go in, go through the living room, and then just the hallway. Just go left all the way down. It's the last door on the
Just
hallway.
open every door and find out.
Just like open every door. Like, honestly, pee in any of the rooms. Like just pick one.
Go
like,
in with your eyes closed and start peeing.
Yeah.
Hopefully. You,
Living room's cool. Like
But yeah, no. Shout out to Cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really cool. When I first saw them at the Shed, I was just blown away.
I wonder what show that was. If I was
It was the I think
Grave
it
Secrets.
was Grave Secrets,
at the new shed or the old shed.
the new one.
The new shed. Yeah, I was at the show.
Oh really?
Yeah, the Grave Secrets Ridgeway one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that was such a good show, and
Yeah, it
they
was a
blew me
great show.
away. And I'm like, dude, if we even get recognized by these guys, it'd be so cool. And
Yeah.
we luckily got a chance to play with them. Was it twice or once?
Once.
Once. Yeah. Once. And
Yeah. So far. Actually.
yeah. No. Right. Yeah, but it was super cool, like down to earth. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was awesome. meeting
I
them.
think the same thing with like Strawberry Fuzz. Like it's refreshing to see someone like that, big and like that nice.
Yeah.
Because you kind of I don't know why. Maybe I'm just becoming jaded, but you kind of expect some people just
To be
to kind of be
dicks.
dickheads, but like they were
Yeah.
completely the opposite. Super cool. Super nice.
Yeah, like I mean, so far, it's so funny that the heavier alternative, hardcore-ish bands that like we've met have been like super nice, super down to
Yeah,
earth.
dude.
It's the indie like
Oh my
Dude,
god.
dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
so weird.
So
Yeah.
right, dude.
But
That is true 100% of the time. I don't
Dude.
give a fuck what anybody says, dude. Yeah, that
and
is
like
so
they
true.
think I don't know. I mean, I don't like putting negative energy out there, but
Yeah.
dude, there's some dickheads in the scene. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is very true. I feel like there's such an acceptance in harder genres of music because I think in a lot of ways it's like an exploitation of like negative emotion so directly that like you don't have any of it left to give to other people.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know. There's like I agree with you. I think there's like a indieism that like I don't know what it is, but
Maybe
like
it's like it's like they're like pompous. What's the word?
yeah, 100%.
They like they want to be that indie guy. They want to be that mysterious guy. So like, you talk to them. Oh, what's up? Man, shut the fuck up, bro. Like
Yeah.
just, you just talk to me, bro. Like I don't know. Like when you talk to them, they almost like have this facade. Like they want to be perceived as something. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like heavier music, like they're just put everything out there. This is
They're
who
just
they
themselves.
are. You know. Yeah.
Like take it for what it is. It's me.
It's not an act. Like, but I feel like indie artists, they're just like. They want to be like the soft boy. They want to be the. I could talk shit all day, bro. I don't know, but
like I saw, or
no.
I was just gonna say because I saw that you had interviewed Israel's Arcade.
Yeah, another
like,
absolute sweetheart. One of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So I was so intimidated because he's like really tall and then like
He's a big guy.
yeah. And so I got a chance to interview him with like for our manager
Sick.
because he had a piece about Israel's new or their latest EP or album. I'm not too sure. I'm sorry, but I got a chance to interview him, and he was just super like cool, super nice, down to earth.
Israel's so sweet, man.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, that's crazy. Like I saw him a certain way, and you know when I actually got a chance to talk to him, totally different. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's that guy's done like he also is such a good like advocate for people, which I think is really beautiful and like something I always like notice in folks. Like he I stage managed the last Happy Daps festival, and he totally just like recommended me like for that. He just like he just like totally threw my name in the hat for that. He was like, Dante would be good at this, and he like pushed for me for it, which is like just a really beautiful thing to do for a friend, and I like never would take that for granted.
No, that's.
But yeah, he's such a great guy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Like it's so community based. I think like being in a band and like growing a scene of people and like trying to be part of a musical community. It's such like a fickle thing, and I think when you start to take it for granted, you can lose the community aspect of it because you write it off. You want this like hyper individualist mentality, which is so just negative, I think, in terms of like building community within bands or just local music in general. It's like what you were saying, like what are you in a band for if not like building a community with other folks? That's like the whole thing. Yeah,
and I think it's also like when you just go to shows that you're not even playing, like just go and support the scene, support the bands that you know you want to support, give them the crowd. And I don't like it when bands just like inject themselves in the scene, get out what they want and then leave, but they don't give anything back to it. And I think that's like my biggest fear, just being that band. Like I always want to
becoming jaded, maybe like
I always want to support people that I believe in, and always like support like Fretz
Fretz
the music store. Shout out Fretz in Riverside. Like we're from Riverside. That's what like where we live for like I don't know
majority of our life,
90% of our lives, and like it's like a small music store made up of musicians like in the scene, and like super cool what they're doing. Like they're offering a space for bands to practice, and they're like they're giving lessons, and they're they have like these, I just saw like they have bundles of like if you're starting guitar, like they'll give you an amp and guitar for like $150, and it's like dude, Sam Ash ain't doing that. Like,
and they sell band merch.
Yeah, and they sell local band merch.
That's really cool.
So like super, I'll support them till the day I die. Like they're super awesome what they're doing. So shout out Freds.
I have this dream when like one day we get the huge Above the Bridge warehouse. I really just want there to be a pop-up shop with like all the homies merch, and like if anybody comes through, like any artist or whatever person, they come through and they just like walk through and there's just like this huge stand in the middle and they're like, oh, that's a sick shirt. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like this person's merch, and they just be like, okay, yeah, just throw $20 in the bin and take it.
That's sick.
I've always wanted to do that. I think that's a really cool concept.
Yeah, and they throw shows there too, and like
sick.
They'll have like a System of a Down karaoke nights where it's just like that, and it's just I think what they're doing is like unadulterated. That's just them. This is what they believe in,
It don't cost nothing to show some love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
so-
It don't. It's free.
Yeah, they're great. But stuff like that, it's like supporting people that are doing that. you know.
Yeah.
Shout out Bass Rev, like they're throwing shows in their backyard. It's like a family thing. It's two sisters and their
Cool.
brother, and like they're throwing shows. They're helping bands. They're making they're making shit happen. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll always support
Mhm.
people like that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think was the hardest part about this last tour for you? Like, as you've been playing more shows and like getting more accustomed to like kind of doing road tours, what do you think is the most difficult thing for it? Like, what is been the hardest thing to get used to?
The drive.
Yeah.
The track.
No, I'm just saying. Well, not playing.
It
The
was
drive was hard.
it was like 8 hour drives. I mean, dude, you didn't drive at all.
I know.
Bro did not drive once.
I slept the whole time.
Yeah.
Chill.
They didn't let me.
I think it's like, I mean, it was fun. Like, I think maybe we'll start to see the hard parts when we do longer tours.
Mm.
Because we were fortunate enough to do 2 shows, take a break, do 2 shows, take a break.
Yeah.
But maybe the bands that do 3 weeks straight, I could see some problems ensuing.
And like we were very fortunate to have a lot of help from people up there as well.
Yeah.
Like we said, Robbie, Ro.
Yeah. Shout out to our manager Rick though. 'cause
Yeah.
he
Shout
did
out.
coordinate a lot of it too.
Like he made it very smooth to
Yeah.
where like we didn't really have to like give it too much thought.
Yeah.
Like really only focus on what we were doing, like which was performing and like getting there. So
I've never met him in person, but I really love his stuff. I've
cool.
always loved his work from afar.
I
He's
know,
cool.
Yeah, Rick's really good. He's a really good photographer.
And what I like about him is that he's very approachable and
super easy to talk to.
He's running Reckless, but which is like a magazine, and it's following, and it's like you would think someone like that is going to be a dickhead, but he's super nice.
How did you guys meet him?
So he was throwing a 4-year anniversary for Reckless magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and he made this post that's saying like, who do you want to see? And it came, I saw it because I have a friend who shot photography for them. Shout out Micah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, let's throw this up on our story. And so a lot of our supporters or our fans went and commented us, and he saw it, and he saw that people were commenting us. So then he added us on, and then he did like a mini interview with us, photo shoot, where we hung out with him, shot some photos, ate some pizza, and then from there, I think he just his words, he saw something in us that like I think he said was unique, and that he saw that people really fuck with what we do. So like he wanted to help us out with connections in any way. So that's how it kind of came about.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. It's natural.
Yeah, 100% natural. Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't like someone. I think we're really blessed with a manager who genuinely wants the best for us, rather than someone who sees something that they can get. Like they don't see it as how can this benefit me? I think he genuinely, how can I help them?
Yeah, I feel like people like that who take like, I don't even want to say leadership roles, but the kind of role where it's like they're giving you everything selflessly and they don't want anything in return.
Yeah,
I feel like it always comes back to those people. Allie, the
Yeah.
batteries. Are you looking for a battery, Allie?
I know the batteries are.
Okay, you got it. Nice, thanks. But yeah, I feel like those people are the ones that always get it back, and they're never the folks that are asking for it either. I feel like that is like a huge thing that I've noticed. Like
it's
people,
just like the passion.
Yeah, it's like people who give, and it's ironic because like people who give and ask for nothing in return are the ones who get the most in return.
Yeah.
They're just, it always comes back.
It's because their head and their heart is in the right place. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we give him what we can. I mean, as much as like he gets his cut for sure. But like he's never been like I need more or this, but like he's always, he genuinely cares about us, and that's
beautiful.
To me, speaks a lot more than someone who's just like, I could do this for you, but you need to do this for me.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like a transaction. Yeah. Like it feels like this is like a mutual respect. Like we're a team reaching for something, rather than like it's like a back and forth tennis match where I do this, you do that, I do this, you do that.
That's how it should feel. Like I've always feel like a manager needs to be part of the team.
Yeah,
it's not somebody
sure.
that works for you or somebody that you work for. It's like they're an active part of the team. I've always thought of.
Yeah,
and it's like I think that or those are always to me where the most fruitful relationships on a manager-client basis come from. I also have found, and I think this, I really feel strongly about this. I think that the best managers are always artists. like they're always like artists of some kind, whether it's like a photographer or a filmmaker or another musician or whatever. They always tend to like be an artist, I feel like, or at least have like a really strong appreciation for it, and they just get it. Like they know what it's like because they've been in those shoes, you know.
Yeah, and he is an artist. Like he does shoot photography, and so it's cool because he also offers like that kind of insight, and then he also helps out with like shooting photos too. Like every time we go to a show, we know he's gonna be there shooting photos. So yeah, we're really lucky.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Last thing I wanted to ask you guys, if you had like one message that you could spread through your music, like one thing that you hope people would get and listen to Integra Pink, what would that be?
Are we collectively coming up with one, or is it like
however you want? Yeah.
Be yourself and have fun. I say that for everything in my life. Like I apply that to every single thing in my life, like work, school, like music, especially like skating, like whatever I'm doing. Like just be yourself and have fun. Like, yeah, I don't want to explain that.
Yeah, I think for me, be yourself and have fun for sure. Like 100% be yourself. Don't care what anyone else thinks of you. They're not living your life. You are. I also want people to question everything. Like,
oh my god. Sorry. I just exploded this pen on my hands.
There's some pink on them.
Oh my god, is it my face?
Bro pinked himself.
No.
I just exploded this shit on my hands. That was crazy. Anyway, sorry, I totally cut you off.
No, you're chilling. No,
I looked at my hands, like, why am I pink? Whoa.
Whoa.
It's starting.
It's the pink effect, bro.
We got him.
You guys got me, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It's like COVID.
Yeah.
It's like the symbiote from Spider-Man. It's just
The Venom.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I think 100% be yourself. But always question everything. Whatever it is you believe, whether it's the things that like you believe for a long time. Make sure you know what you believe, and make sure you know why you believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just love everybody, or not everybody, but love who. Just love. Just love. Just love.
Yeah.
Just love.
Just love.
Yeah,
It's easy to love.
I second everything that they said. I just hope people can see that we are genuine, and that because I guess I'm like the overthinker in the band, because I always overthink whether or not people think of us a certain way, and like really like all we're doing this is just to have fun and just to play music, and we're just trying to be our genuine selves. So that's all I can never really do. And if people, I don't know, like I just want to be that band where just like, damn, like they're always having fun. They're they don't have like a standard that they're holding themselves to. So that's kind of like how I want us to be perceived. But yeah, just to second what they said, like I definitely agree with the hopefully people get that message.
That's beautiful. Hell yeah.
Because I feel like there's like a lot of people always say like you gotta like make an image, make something, or like make something, but it's like, which is true, like you kind of do have to have something recognizable or brandable, but I think for us we want to make sure it's always like this is actually us. Like we're not putting on a facade, we're not putting on costumes. Like this is who we are.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Fuck yeah. I love it.
But do you think thank you so much for having me. Is
this the end?
Yes, sir.
I don't want this to be over.
I was gonna say thank you so much for not asking where the name came from or what the Dalmatian is, because we get that every interview, which is not bad because
I wasn't gonna ask that. I was gonna ask what your creative influences are.
Which is cool, because like I mean
Mount Rushmore of
well, people
top 5 rappers.
Yeah. Well, people. I mean, which is cool. Like people, because I mean, I understand that people. We have a Dalmatian. People want to know where that's from, or people want to know what the name is. But I appreciate you asking like genuine, hard-hitting questions. Like,
thanks, bro.
It's very, very refreshing. And very, I did not. Because I'm seeing the time, I did not think it was gonna be this long, because it felt like this was like 20 minutes. Like, it felt like we're just
for real. It just like flowed so good. You're really good at what you do.
Thank you, bro.
Like,
thank you guys.
You need
I really
to
appreciate it.
some wings, some hot ones.
Oh yeah, Sean Evans.
Dude, yeah.
I can only hope to one day be as good as Sean Evans. That guy's the GOAT.
Dude,
He's pretty cool.
You are, bro. You just
you,
you just need people to watch it. That's all it is, bro.
I appreciate you guys.
You're really good at what you do. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
It's awesome to be here, bro. Like, yeah.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Yeah. One by one, we're finding more people to watch. We'll be there eventually.
Yeah, dude.
Coming for you, Sean Evans.
Yeah.
And Integra Pink, thank you guys. Tell them where they could listen, or they could see you live, or they could get the record, get the merch, do everything.
We're actually breaking up after this now.
Never again, actually.
Yeah. Instagram. We're on Instagram. Integra Pink. We're on Spotify, Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Integra Pink. Integra like the car, pink like the color. No underscores. Just that's it.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
And
Thanks,
we love
guys.
you. We love
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Appreciate y'all. Music matters.